Make it on the ground, you can make it on the ground, you should make it on the ground, you should make it on the ground, you should make. Hi guys, Kevin here. Welcome to the Why We Train podcast. I have Elisabeth here today on this episode. Elisabeth is a newer member, started at the beginning of the year. Was it right at the beginning?
December,
okay.
Yeah, but just the end of December.
Got it.
Yeah.
Cool. So Elisabeth, can you tell us a little bit about yourself and what you did before Boundless?
Yeah. I don't identify as an athlete or an athletic person. I come from a really athletic family, but not athletic myself.
Okay, got it.
And so I think that impacts you a lot growing up, that you just say to yourself, I'm the creative person, I'm not the sporty person. And so I always really like doing creative versions of athletics, like I do yoga or things like that.
Mm-hmm.
And that always got me by. I have got by through life without gaining a lot of weight or having any health issues by not being a particularly active person. That's been life for me up until my mid-20s or even my early 30s. Then I had two kids. I had two girls.
In your late 20s?
I had my oldest when I was 29 and my
Okay.
youngest right around 32.
Okay.
And actually in my first pregnancy, I did have gestational diabetes. I managed to kick butt with that and got it completely under control, lost a good amount of weight throughout my pregnancy, actually. So even though I dealt with gestational diabetes in that first pregnancy, I don't really know what could have caused that, if it was eating habits. And so I had a nutritionist when I was 29 and pregnant for the first time and kind of feeling like I had failed. And I ended up losing a ton of weight and being really healthy when I had my first daughter. I remember people saying to me, you don't look like you just had a baby. And that was just so, oh my God, I did that.
Yeah.
And then my second daughter, I fought off gestational diabetes and I ate really well, and same deal, felt so like I can handle this. And I am in control of my weight and my health without pushing myself into maybe a class every day. I had a lot of friends who were really dedicated to things like Orange Theory, or they'd go to classes a lot, and I'd be like, oh, that's not my thing. I take the girls for a hike. I'm active with them all the time. And I was always baby wearing when I had my really little kids. And I was breastfeeding for 5 straight years, which I think also is a calorie burning activity. Then I went back to work in 2021. So it was pretty much a solid year into the pandemic as well. My job was anything but active. I was mostly in my car trying to get all over Orange County for the work that I do, which is so fulfilling and I love it. But I gained 50 pounds in about 2 years. And those first 2 years of that work, it was like this feeling of I have just lost myself. I didn't even know how it happened because I don't think I had changed the way I had been eating. And it was just hard. Yeah, it was really hard.
Wow. You're not even sure how it happened. Eating mostly stayed the same. Probably activity level was less.
Because if I came home from work, I wanted to just be with the kids.
Right.
You know, I didn't want to feel like I needed to go to a hot yoga class or something, which I tried to do a little bit of, but I always felt really guilty
Being away
leaving
from the
them.
kids.
Yeah. And so that was the case for 2 solid years, where I gained it over probably that first year. I guess I just said to myself, this is what it is to be in your late 30s, work full time, have 2 kids, and do all the things. Something's got to give.
Mm-hmm.
And my husband was very supportive. Like, I just was like, this is just how, you know, what life is going to be like now. I'd have those moments where I'd walk through Target or I'd walk past my reflection and I'd be like, I do not know who that person is. I wouldn't even recognize myself. And so sometime in 2023, I did start to try and focus on food. And so I changed the way I was eating. I started
Going back to what you did with your nutrition.
Well, there was a lot of parallels, because when it came to gestational diabetes, it was a lot about carbs, right? So you couldn't have anything that was over 10 carbs in any particular meal, which is really quite low. And yeah, I saw a lot of parallels in that. And I also just started to focus on calorie intake. I think I probably focused too much, honestly, on specifically just calories, because it wasn't very sustainable. So over the next year and a half, I was just yo-yo, drop a bunch of weight, gain it a little bit, drop a bunch of weight. And I was just like, this is just crazy. Like, if I let go a little bit, I'd regain this weight. And the problem was I wasn't moving. I still wasn't moving. I wasn't active. I was driving like 3 hours a day in a work day, and that was it. It was this realization by the end of 2024 that I have got to find a way to be consistently active. I have to find something where I don't feel like I'm giving up on my kids, not being available to them in the afternoon. I was obsessed with this idea of not putting myself first, which I know sounds really silly, but I felt that way. Every time I would open up Google Maps and I'd be like, what are the gyms nearby? What are the classes? Like, where could I go? I'd always see Boundless and I'd be like, this is probably for Great Park residents. I didn't really identify as that over in Cypress Village. One day in December, I just opened the website, looked at the schedule, and I was like, 1 o'clock. I could do 1 o'clock because then I can pick the kids up right after. I work with preschool, so by 1 o'clock, nap time is a no-go for being in my preschool center, so I can do this. And that's how I made my way here.
What was your first class or first gym that you
Pretty much.
joined?
I've done a couple Bikram yoga classes, and honestly, I think that's probably it. Yeah, for that period of my life when I was saying I don't have time and I can't prioritize that.
That's cool because Boundless is, I would say, a pretty tough programming for just general fitness. Yeah. And you came in and kicking butt, actually.
I remember seeing how capable everyone was. It was incredible. I remember 3 or 4 classes in, and I was feeling, am I able to do this? Can I do this to the extent that everyone else is lifting as far as how heavy they were lifting? I remember you said to me, you're here and you could go here if you want to. I was like, really? But when you said that, I was like, okay, so you're telling me I should just keep doing this. And so that was it, keep doing it.
And that was almost a year ago, 10 months ago?
10 months ago.
You feel like you have gone at least, I mean, probably
halfway.
Not what you thought, but yeah, we're making
halfway,
progress.
Yeah.
But a lot of the people here, they're OG members who's been with me for 4 or 5 years.
Yeah, and again, maybe that wasn't a fair comparison in my mind. Like, oh, I could never do what they're doing, but it's cool to be 10 or so months in now. Other people are showing up to classes. I was walking down here one day and it was Glenn or someone who was maybe coming to their first class, and they're like, how long have you been doing this for? I was like, oh, about 10 months. That's great. And like, yeah, that is great. Haven't said that out loud in a while.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So now you are coming very consistently. Recently, and now you're being more active and you're bringing out this athletic side that you never thought you had.
Yeah.
How has your journey been here at Boundless?
I think something that is key for me is to not overthink it. If I think too much about the fact that, oh, this has never really been how I've ever been, I'm not an athlete, if I say that to myself, then I won't feel like I should come or that I can come. And so in a way, it's like turning my brain off. Just do the thing. I'm seeing that I'm so much stronger than I was back in December, and I'm feeling better and I'm feeling more healthy and more fit. So just don't even think about it. Just go. It's kind of what I'll say to myself if I ever need to, which honestly, lately I don't. And if a day goes by where I really can't go because the schedule just doesn't allow for it, I like feel that so much by the end of the day. I'm like, I didn't get what I needed today. I think there's the community part of it, like being able to connect with people. And with that is the mental health piece. I also think it's like sensory input. You need to be outside, out of your car, out of your office, and just have the opportunity to lift some really heavy stuff.
Which you have come to enjoy a little bit?
Yeah, absolutely.
Because I'm seeing you surprise yourself each day just with everything from the weights to the body weight stuff.
Yeah, it's really cool to see different things. Recently, in the past couple of weeks, I realized I can do a box jump now. I used to always be really scared and I couldn't do them. Just chicken out every time I would do them. And now I don't even think twice about it. It wasn't even a goal in my mind, but just kind of check that off. Oh, I could do that now. That's okay. There are still some things that are unchecked, but that's the whole idea, continual growth.
And actually, kudos to you, because this year we have went through several things and you've just been shutting your mind off and just going in. We went from a strength cycle at the beginning of the year, and then we did a Murph prep, which is a lot of calisthenics. And then you did spring nutrition challenge, which, by the way, she won the nutrition challenge, her and Kim. And that was actually a pretty strict plan that you did.
Yeah, it was
How
really
was that
strict.
for you?
Anything that I've ever done in the past, I liked that it was so structured. There was no room for error. You just did the thing. And so I remember someone was commenting like, how did you lose that much? I'm like, I just followed the plan. No day went by that I didn't just follow the plan. I think what was a little hard was applying that to real life. That was a little bit tricky. And so for this nutrition challenge, it's been great because it's like, this is real reality, right? This is everyday food, not just the standard 3 things that I had been mostly eating for the previous one. And yeah, just like finding ways to eat the things that are enjoyable, but being able to eat them in a way that is healthy and balanced. And I know I was telling you, as a pescatarian, it can be really hard to get the right amount of protein, or it can feel hard. I know you're always like, it's not that hard. You just have to eat these other things. But sometimes it feels challenging. I'll eat what I think is a high protein breakfast, and I'll be like, oh my gosh, I have so much more protein to eat today. And I just have to be thinking about it, right? Making those choices and being really intentional in a way that I don't think I ever really was before.
Yeah. So just throwing it back on the Spring Nutrition Challenge, she did option 2 plan, which gave a very structured list of what you can eat, how much you can eat, and how many a day. Very simple to follow, but hard to keep up because there's not too much to choose from. Right. Now she's doing the focused nutrition group, which is option 3, where you're learning to take all that into your own hands, learning to read the nutrition facts, track your meals, and figure out what fits best.
Right.
We are determining the best kind of macros for you. This is great because now she's able to take it into her own hands, and she's a pescatarian, which is different from most other people who could just eat chicken and beef and whatever else. So now she can actually see, what am I eating? How does this and how does it work for my diet? And you have more options as long as it fits.
As long as it fits, exactly.
And you just told me that you can see that this is much more sustainable.
Yeah, I think so. I also think it's a really significant wake-up call for me, realizing what my diet must have looked like before. As a former, for a good chunk of my 20s, I was actually like a high raw vegan. If anyone were to ever say to me, you're not getting enough protein, I would rage out about how there's no such thing as needing that much protein. I'm going to be 40 next year. The reality of a woman at this age is that you do need to be mindful of what you're eating, especially if you're going to be this active. And everyone gets to make the choice that's best for them. I'm really coming full circle, realizing, actually, I really do need to think about these things. I need to make sure I'm taking good care of myself.
Yeah, and I understand you completely because I am vegetarian for majority of my life. I grew up vegetarian.
Oh, wow.
But anyways, with that being said, I've also adapted my diet so that now it's just easy, because once you start doing this for some time, it's just, okay, I know exactly what to eat.
Autopilot.
Yeah, and you don't even have to think about it.
Yeah.
But since you are this is your 10th day in.
Yeah.
So 10th day in of this plan, you're still trying to figure it out.
Yeah.
By the end of this 6 weeks, it's just going to be like, okay, I know exactly what I can do, and these are my go-tos, and you don't even have to think about it. And then now you'll be set up for
the long term.
Yeah, the long term. And then you'll just see your body and your energy level and everything just changing progressively.
Yeah, I see it. You're looking at the real numbers of what you're eating. Even though the first nutrition challenge was so effective, like losing 20 pounds in 6 weeks is unbelievable. And I had great cheerleaders around me, really encouraging. It was just such a positive experience. But I know that now what I'm eating, I can really see the numbers. I can really think very carefully. And what I'm hoping is eventually, like we're talking about, that it becomes autopilot. I don't have to think about every little thing that I'm plugging in, but I just know. I am much more aware of what I'm consuming. But I think going back to being a high raw vegan, that's originally why I wanted to be that, because I wanted to know what I was eating. And so this is just the same idea, but applying to protein and everything else.
Awesome. And just out of curiosity, when you were high raw vegan, was it more for health or for the animals or for sustainability of the earth?
I think it was more of a moral thing than a health thing, but I liked learning about the health benefits. I would read a lot about the benefit of eating raw vegan food. It was a nice way to buck the system, a little bit be rebellious, but I knew it was a clean way of eating, and I liked that. But not very sustainable because it was very restrictive. I lived in New York City at the time, so there were so many great options, but it's not outside of there. You can't really find, at the time, you couldn't find too much.
Yeah, to be honest, I still think that is a very healthy way. Ideally, in my dream world, everyone has their own garden, their own farm, and they're growing their organic fruits and vegetables. and it's grown out of love, and
Right.
that's just
It's
medicinal.
true.
So,
It's true. It's true. It's the ideal. It's true.
but just living in this culture,
It's hard.
harder. Yeah. So we went through your journey here, and it's been 10 months. You've progressed a long way. Your nutrition, now you're dialing in
Yeah.
even more, which you are starting to find sustainability in both, because now you're
Yeah.
able to work out without taking time away from your kids.
Or I bring them if I can.
Or yes, so you're able to come, I think you've been coming like 5 times a week.
That's what I'm telling myself.
5 times a week, and plus you're hitting all the nutrition challenge, making changes, and you feel great.
Yeah, I do. But it's like you're at that point where there's another goal now. There's just a new goal each time that I'm like, oh, I did that. Okay, now I want to do that.
What's
So-
this new goal?
I think for me, it's still continuing to burn fat and build muscle physically. And then athletically, being able to do banded pull-ups more than just one. Being able to do things that are a little bit more challenging. Seeing myself walk up to the box and be like, I don't know if I can do this. And then I just do it. That's exciting. And so I think doing some really great push-ups would be a big goal for me.
Awesome.
Push-ups
Okay.
are my kryptonite.
Yeah, you'll get there too.
Yeah.
I very much enjoyed hearing your story. I actually haven't sat down and
Sure.
talked to you, so I don't even know all this, and it's great to hear. And I know a lot of people, same thing. They've tried a lot of stuff, and it's been up and down and still trying to find their groove. I'm glad that you have found your groove and it's sustainable and you enjoy it. It doesn't feel like I
Work
have to
or-
go
yeah.
because blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
It's also the mental health, the relationships you build, and being outside is just
Yeah.
all
It's true.
part of your well-being.
Yeah, it's true. It's pretty essential to my day at this point.
Yeah, great. So let's do maybe a little fire of questions,
Sure.
just getting to know. Elizabeth, your favorite movement?
Favorite movement? Oh, that's really hard. Probably sled pulls.
Sleds?
Yep.
And how about favorite equipment?
I
When
love
you
the rower.
You love the rower?
Yeah,
Oh, we
for an
need-
athlete, I really do the rower.
Wait, have you rowed before?
A
You
year
did
and a
use-
half in college, yeah.
That's right.
I did.
Okay. How about your go-to food?
Greek yogurt, and I've been making it really exciting. I'll cook down apples and I'll add cinnamon, and then I put that on the Greek yogurt. Or I'll do something exciting to fruit, and then I'll add that.
What?
So I don't like, it's a little bit sweeter. It's
Yes.
got a little more fiber to it and everything. And scallops. Man, I'm spending all my money on scallops lately.
Wait, cook down apples as in how?
Cook
Steep
them
how?
until they're really soft, almost
Oh,
like apple
okay.
pie filling,
Yeah,
with
yeah.
just the apple and then some cinnamon.
Okay.
I remember Rachel was saying pumpkin pie spice, which
Yeah,
is
yeah.
a really good idea. And then that on Greek yogurt is perfect.
When you look on the push press app and the leaderboard, is there someone that you look up to or always compare yourself with?
It's hard to pick one, honestly. No one that I would ever compare myself to. I love the women that I feel like we all started at the same time,
Yes.
Kim and Rachel and even Amanda. We all are pushing along the same
Yeah.
level in a sort of a way, in our own different ways. And then, I don't know, I remember those first few classes, how sweet, helpful, and supportive all of the women were. We were all crowded around the bars, and I was maybe 2 days, 3 days into coming in, and Kim would be like, you gotta squat deeper. And Marta's telling me, you're okay, you're doing really great. And Anusha, everyone, and Janet, such a cheerleader. Everyone has just been really encouraging. It's those moments of doubt that get tuned out when you hear that feedback from other people, which has been great.
Yeah. Actually, it's been fun seeing you and Kim because you guys were partners in the last challenge.
yes.
And then you guys are partners now. And then
Yeah.
a lot of times the workouts, you guys are now partners
Yeah.
and sharing
That's great.
and just, oh, what you're doing. What weight are you doing?
Right,
This, and
exactly.
then-
I'll look at her. I'll be like, what are you gonna do?
Yep. It's been amazing seeing both of you guys grow and build up so much confidence,
Yeah.
confidence in yourself here and just enjoying the whole
Mhm.
process.
Yeah, it's been great and very out of my own character. But hey, who says that I can't just become a little bit of a different person at this
Yeah.
point? Yeah.
Anything else you want to say or share?
No, I think that's my
That's great.
story.
I love it. Thank you so much,
Yeah.
Elizabeth. Thank you for listening. And we will see you guys next time.